Ken, pleasure. Good to see you again, buddy.
Good to see you.
It's probably been maybe Gamescom last year. I think we caught up again.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of things have changed since I last saw you.
Yeah.
But for those obviously viewers at home, please give us a little insight to who is Ken, and a little bit into your world and experience in the gaming industry.
Right. So, name's Ken, and I started a company called AI Guys. We are a co-development specialist. We assist in the development of smart and intelligent agent behaviors within games. We are boots on the ground kind of people, which kind of means that when we make a promise to deliver some particular content for a game, we're the people who are going to be implementing it. And so we like to bill ourselves as AI realists. So we're not trying to hype up AI. We're literally trying to accomplish what the best AI experience and the best in-game behaviors possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You've got to understand, obviously, what are the pain points that all the developers are facing, and then what are the technical challenges behind that in order to alleviate those pain points. And once you find a bit of a recipe for success there, that's when you can really start to go to market and actually help developers with what they're trying to achieve.
Exactly. That's why we released the case study, where we took a single engineer, 3 months' time, given every single AI tool available, asked them to create a custom game engine for a classic game called XCOM. And they managed to do it. Brand new graphics, renderer, everything, just the whole thing. And we released all the details, every model that we used, the process that we used. So given a real life case example of here's how you can actually use generative AI to kind of help accelerate the game development process. And the case study is available for free, so yeah.
Amazing. Where's that on AI Guy's website?
Yep, it's on our website.
Well, and it is, just so the viewers at home have it?
AI-guys.com.
Perfect. Well, do check it out. So I'm sure that obviously with a lot of that research, you've probably come across a fair few challenges in the last 8 months. Do you want to elaborate, let us know what kind of challenges you faced and it's been the hardest one to overcome?
So a lot of people think AI is kind of this, wonder. I mean, it is a spectacular technology. It's, but they think they put too much trust in the output of an AI. So, for instance, in the case study, one of the things we outline is when we were building up the renderer for this old game, the game itself was for 320 by 200 display, and we had to render a cube in that in that environment. And one of the things we came across was a missing pixel in the lower right hand corner, and so it took us ages to kind of do an analysis on it, find out what the problem was. And it wasn't AI that ended up helping us. It was actually going to an expert and putting it in front of an expert, and the expert being able to immediately see the issue and propose a solution. And that's kind of where I see AI in its current state. It's a wonderful accelerant, but you still need that expert use case. And part of the reason why we do a lot of the generative stuff, but part of the strong focus on classical game AI is because we have experts in-house who have been doing procedural generation. They'll be able to spot some issues with laying out custom levels and stuff like that through years, decades in some cases for that kind of experience. And that's not stuff that you can easily get out of a large language model at this point.
Yeah, and I think it's so vitally important to, at the end of the day, the experts have been doing it in the industry for many, many years.
Yep.
It's vital, especially at this early stage, to have their eyes to check that everything is, going as well as it can be. AI is amazing at what it can achieve, as you said, an accelerator, but it's not the be-all and end-all. You need to still have a bit of a review process afterwards. Right. So Ken, you kind of covered some of the general challenges that comes with AI, and obviously the mindset that the masses pretty much have at this stage. But there will be a whole separate set of challenges when you think about the game development point of view. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the challenges in game development, what are the biggest challenges that you see?
So, first of all, a lot of people are unaware as far as how deeply it can be ingrained in the kind of overall process of the game development. But in a game development specific sense, one of the things that comes up a lot is copyright issues, and the source of the training data, the content, making sure that it kind of aligns with the company's objectives. And that's something we deal with a lot, which is why we advise companies who are more worried about their copyright material and stuff like that to use AI more on the automation side. Use it as maybe something that can do code reviews, do an initial pass on code reviews. Maybe something that can go through Jira, point out tasks that need to be prioritized. Maybe give it a game design document, and get its input as far as where it sees potential pitfalls or players playing their particular game. Like we advise them to kind of use it in that process. But we generally try to stay away from is any kind of game developer who wants to use Gen AI to generate all their assets or all their entire game. AI is just not to the point yet that you can just do text to game. I don't think that's something that's going to be coming about for a little while.
Cool. So I mean, like you've gone over some now. Obviously, the challenges on the broader spectrum, and then also like with game development as a whole. And I think it's really good that you've highlighted the ethical standpoint that you have when it comes to like where AI can really help developers accelerate their development, but not necessarily kind of like touch on the wrong side of when it comes to AI. But I guess again, taking a step back from that, like when it comes to generative AI as a whole, where do you see like generative AI having its most use when it comes to
process? Yeah, so process improvements.
Okay.
AI can be amazing when it comes to consuming large volumes of information and condensing insights from that information. There's an old saying, trust but verify. With AI, it's a bit of distrust and verify, but at the same time, it shortens the workload, the mental load. It might point something out, and then you can start to dive deeper into the data to really find out whether or not that's an actual fact, and then you can kind of deduce your own arguments from there. And it's as a tool for process and large data analytics. I think it's amazing.
I just got, I guess, my own kind of question to add to that is: do you think when it comes to the accelerating the process, is there a certain size of studios you think is going to help more than others, or do you think that? I mean, I'd imagine that whether you're a small indie studio making your first game and you're trying to learn certain elements of game development better and enhance your own personal knowledge, or whether you're a massive AAA and, like you said, trying to streamline some processes because there's 1,000,001 moving parts going on. In your eyes, though, because obviously you know way more than I do in this regard, do you think there's a particular size of a studio that that AI guys are going to be able to support the most in when it comes to the future? Or
well, all studios. I mean, regardless of your one-man shop or 500-man development team, the use cases for AI changes depending on the team sizes. So for the one-man studio, you need that kind of leg up in order to really deliver at speed. Whereas with the larger studios, you need the AI's insights in order to reduce the amount of overhead that's involved with managing 500 developers.
So there's a lot of moving parts going on when it comes to AI. But let's hone back into AI guys for a second. You could give us a real insight. What would you see your plans going for 2025 and then 2026 and beyond?
So for 2025, a large part of it is just getting the messaging out there about what AI can do to kind of assist in the game development process. Also communicating our staunch support of copyright holders and making sure we are very much on the camp of ethical AI. Moving forward, one of the core tenets of our business is continuing to develop procedural generation, continuing to develop classical AI in the kind of millisecond to millisecond behavior trees, and trying to reinforce that side of AI in games, making the experience for the end players much more believable, making the experience for the players better, just using both either classical or generative or both. And that's kind of where we see things.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to hearing. I mean, I look more than anything right now. I look forward to hearing about the all the research that you keep providing us, because I'm learning a lot from, even just a short chat with yourself today.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's so much to learn when it comes to AI, but I'm interested to see where it takes us.
Yeah, have a chat with us anytime.
Yeah.
And that goes for everybody else as well.
Amazing. Well, Ken, absolute pleasure, buddy. Look forward to obviously catching up with you again soon. I look forward to seeing all the stuff you produce online.
All right, sounds
Amazing.
good.
Awesome.